Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Hope you're having a wonderful day here today, and I hope that it's going to get a little bit better. We're going to be casting Rush here today in the bottom left, using an ID that looks very much like the ID Flash last used on the ladder, and he's going to be going up against Quickly, using the ID and Fireman, and is like a strong clan that Quickly is in. I have to play against these guys daily on the ladder and get smashed. I actually have played Quickly quite a few times at this point. A really, really strong Protos player. And yeah, I saw that these two played, and I was like, ooh, I hope Rush can maybe show me what you need to do against this guy to beat him. I guess we'll see. Obviously, I have no idea how the game is going to go down. But we are on Apolcalypse, which, you know, a 3-player map, and you know, TVP, I think, boils down relatively quickly, like on this map. There's the very dangerous mid-game from like 6 minutes to like, I don't know, 12 minutes-ish. Maybe a little bit less than that, like 6 minutes to 10 minutes, where any sort of shuttle play is very, very difficult to deal with because of the shape of the main base and everything. And then after that, the game gets into like the same 1 or 2 positions on this map almost every time. And I'll talk about those if we get there. But it's a weird map like that, I feel like. It's like, you know, every StarCraft game feels quite, well, this is going to make it different already because it's a Nexus first from Quickly. But every StarCraft game feels very different from other ones in StarCraft 1. This is definitely something I've realized casting it and playing it over the many years. Like, you get the games are more varied, I would say, than StarCraft 2. I feel like StarCraft 2 you can learn really, really quickly because you hit a lot of the almost exactly same positions over and over. And in StarCraft 1, there's like more volatility in the early game. And obviously the way the macro works, right, makes for really different situations. So, it's weird when we get a map like Apolcalypse and a matchup like Terran vs. Protoss where it feels like you're getting into a really similar game very, very oftentimes in that mid-game. But anyways, all that being said, with the Nexus First, that actually really kind of changes it, because Nexus First is one of the most popular builds in this matchup. But I guess the way to put this is Protos's play Nexus First in like maybe 3 different ways, but Terran has a lot of different ways right now that they are looking at playing against Nexus First. Okay, so look, Rush is coming down for the scout. Quickly, he's trying so hard to slow the scout down, and the scout did get slowed. You can see he's keeping that probe on Rush's SCV, so Rush's SCV is not going to live very long, but it is going to get in and see this is a Nexus First 2 gate. So Nexus First 2 gate, is he going to rush it? Is there a 3rd depot? I do not see a 3rd depot, and he isn't making another Marine. So he's just going to go Nexus, which I actually think is completely correct. But there's like mind games involved in this as well. Oh, wow. His SCV actually got away from the probe. That's kind of crazy. I'm surprised he didn't finish this off. But look, here's the thing, right? So if Protoss goes Nexus first and they go 2 gateways and make 2 zealots off of it, they're ahead, but not by a huge margin. Okay? Now, if they go Nexus first, 1 gateway and tech up immediately, they're ahead by a lot. And that is a build that you want to rush against. That's why even when his SCV is being attacked and he sees Nexus first, he still dives in because he needs to see the gateway count. Right? That's what, like, for many Terrans will trigger whether you rush. Oh, he actually gets the Voltron doesn't quite get the probe kill, unfortunately. Right? So, but then there's this other one that some people have started to do where they make the 2 gateways, but they don't make the zealots. And that's a heartbreaker when that occurs. You're just like, oh man, that's, you know, basically to make the 2 gates into the 2 zealots, they have to skip some probes. It's all about the probe skipping. So the less probes you have to skip, the further ahead you get. So you can see this command center is finishing up. He's had to skip some probes because he made the 2 gateways and the 2 zealots. He was being a good boy as far as Nexus First players go. He was not playing super risky in that regard. And you can see as the command center finishes up, he's got a 4 probe advantage. It would be quite a bit higher if he had, you know, skipped the Zealots, for instance, or gone one gate. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the actual way that Rush is playing and why this is kind of like a crazy, like you get these really different situations in this matchup because Terran has all these different things they can try. Here he's gone for very quick speed. Now he's trying to dive on that Zealot to get in, and he's not going to succeed, unfortunately. You might look at that and say, why would he trade those two for that? He's trying to get in. Oh my God, two more come up and quickly did not block. So he does get one in and he can kill probes, but it's not just probe kills he's looking for. He also wants to get the scout as to the tech. So he sees Robo, he sees range on the way, he sees observatory. This is really good info and very good probe damage. Very good. So he brings the workers in line with each other. Now, that being said, he does have the armory at home, and he started his second factory. More production here for Quickly, and Quickly immediately throws down the Nexus. This is a perfect call from Quickly. Because he's already killed 4 speed vultures, he knows his opponent is on maximum 2 factories now and can't actually damage him if he just chokes up his walls. So some vultures come in, they're going to lay a few mines here. Quickly should be able to micro well enough that he does not end up losing these Dragoons, and that's going to be, you know, him maintaining this bit of advantage he has from the speed of that third base. Now, Rush has to decide how he wants to play this. Does he want to try to take a third base very quickly? Or does he want to try to do some sort of timing push? He's starting siege mode. I think he's actually going to try to take a third base, is my guess here. Okay, he pulls back his vultures. He's already spent 5 vultures, I think. He's lost 5 vultures so far this game. He knows the worker count should be about even right now, and he knows he just doesn't have a lot of units. So he is making the Academy. The Academy doesn't actually point us in one way or the other. It's generally considered right now that you get, like, your first buildings are like 2 factories and an armory generally, and then you normally get the Academy unless it's like a very specific type of game, like a gas steel game. You might get the 3rd factory before the Academy. And of course, there's other games too. You might just say, no, I'm going to skip the Academy altogether. But Academy is a pretty popular thing right now. There's just so many different mid games that Protoss can have. You really want to get that scout out. And oftentimes the best way is just to scan their base. Observer is in here, 3rd factory being made, and we're still in the zone where we don't know if Rush has decided that he wants to try to deal damage, or if he wants... I can't believe he got some vultures in and dealt more damage to the probes. He's almost certainly going to make a command center here. Oh, he has Goliath range on the way, and he's getting 2 more factories. Now, I still don't think he's going to attack. I know I keep saying this, and the thing is, there's like a lot of different ways you can look at this and play this, right? After those speed vultures, it's like, okay, well, real safety is 5 factory command center. The thing is, you can go for these 5 facts, kill off the observers, and in fact, he just, oops, sorry. Trying to see if I could catch where that secondary scan was, but I was too slow because he used 1 scan to kill the observer, and he does add the 6 factory. The 6 factory says attack. Okay, the 5 factories do not. 5 factories can really go either way. 6 factories, sometimes with 6 factories you will end up making the command center, but here he wants to attack. Okay, so more gateways on the way. I think this is, again, like excellent play from Quickly. Obviously he's lost some workers, so that's really good for Rush. But I think Quickly is basically playing this like perfectly. Like, other than that, right? Other than taking some damage, his build was good. He's been pretty safe overall. Yes, some mistakes is blocking probe death. But going into Reaver plus Speed Shuttle, ooh, flies that observer right in. Reaver plus Speed Shuttle and 8 gates, and he should have a Citadel. Where's the Citadel? We don't have the Citadel yet, but he's going to need to get that really soon. That's going to be probably his best chance at holding off a strong push like this. Now, Rush starts to come out, quickly pulls back that Reaver. Rush producing really heavily off these factories right now. Like, he's got to make sure he's not missing a single unit with this push. He needs to just be producing the entire time. You see he has 2 depots on the way at a time. We do have that Citadel coming up, so it is going to be a little bit until he has those speed zealots, but those are going to be incredibly important. Ooh, walks into a mine there. Nice volley as well as Rush continues to push up with these siege tanks, trying to go after those Reavers. And he does kill off the Reaver and several Dragoons, so these were good trades for Rush. Quickly continues to macro up. You know, he's got the really healthy gateway count, has another Reaver, has another speed shuttle. The Goliath count is down to 1, so his speed shuttles are going to be able to do a very good job. Now look, he sends the SCV down to the 3rd base. Quickly here has a ton of probes. He started his 4th Nexus, by the way. He's got to hold this, though. Like, he has to shut this down and not let this kill one of his bases. And in fact, he's going to do that very, very easily. I gotta say, the whole time I was saying I thought he'd take a 3rd because it felt to me like, yes, he did some reasonable economic damage, but the timing of that 3rd Nexus was so perfect from Quickly that I think that it was always going to turn out like this against a push. Like, Quickly's... Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting excited because there's this concept I want to pass on to you, the viewer. And I don't know if you care, but the thing that's so strong about a Nexus First, this is going to sound counterintuitive, but the thing that's so strong about Nexus First is the speed of the 3rd Nexus. Right? Nexus First is actually kind of lacking in like early aggression, and like it's not like you go Nexus First into 2 base play. That's not actually very good. The strength of it is like you're gonna be able to hit your 3rd Nexus very quickly, and then that was a terrible Reaver drop. I can't believe he did that. But anyways, is you're going to be able to hit your 3rd Nexus quickly, then get into your macro really cleanly. And you can see that here. 70 probes. He's at 140 supply. He's already killed a push. I think that Quickly's in a great spot to end up taking this game. He's going to go for a 2nd Robo, so double Robo play. That's going to kind of prolong the game. Not that, like, the game necessarily needs to end quickly or something. Oh, quickly. But basically, when you go for the double Robo play, you generally can't kill your opponent with that, right? It's a fighting comp, as I like to call it, right? He's getting Psystorm, he's getting Observer Speed, right? Lots of shuttles. He's going to be able to take good engagements. Rush is not going to be able to attack quickly. Rush's economy might get attacked, right? But, like, if you're in an entrenched position, sieged up with turrets and stuff, like this, the mass speed shuttle type of style isn't going to kill you. What it's going to do is try to get ahead by taking more bases and things like that. Okay, so Rush right now macroing up pretty cleanly. He's only on 56 SCVs, as you can see here. So that's slightly low, right? You're looking at mid-60s is where you actually want to be. So if any Psystorm drops get off and kill his probe count, his SCV count, Rush is going to be incredibly far behind. Like right now, I would say he is behind, like Quickly is winning right now, but it's still like a playable game. Like we don't know how this game's going to turn out. I think that Quickly likely will end up winning, but not 100%. Now, he's actually going to bomb in. And he has 4 shuttles dropping out speed lots on top of everything, so that goes pretty damn well. The High Templars come up, and he needs a Psystorm here. Where is the Psystorm? There you go. A little bit late, unfortunately. He actually does end up reducing the siege tank count pretty dramatically. Going to continue to fight over here a little bit, but he's not going to end up killing him. 5 probes died during that. I'm not sure what happened, but it looks like some speed vultures maybe caught some transferring or something like that. And he is actually killing off some of the SCVs now, so that is a bit painful. You need to clear those zealots immediately. 47 workers is pretty darn low. And you know what? At the end of the day, this was actually, like I said, right? You weren't going to kill him with this, but he chose a timing there to try to reduce the siege chain count, and it definitely did end up working. Now, let's take a look. It's only 8 gates for Quickly. I think that this is something where, like, if you're going to play like that, you definitely need to make sure that you're getting more gateways. He's actually getting Reaver Scarab damage, which is kind of cool. Like, I do like that late game Reaver usage with this still. And he is, okay, here he is, adding more gates. And that's probably the best way to do it, is add those at that other main base. So you have multiple locations you can come out of with units. And here is the Psystorm drop I was talking about before. Reduces that SCV count further. So he's down 14 SCVs from the last big check-in that we did, which is not good. Quickly definitely has a strong advantage. And, you know, if he just continues to macro cleanly, I think at this point, honestly, you probably don't do this type of thing very much anymore. Like, I feel like this win more type of play is actually like one of the ways that you could end up losing it is like you get low on like high Templar counts or something like that. Like the mech army can still kill off, you know, a surprising amount of like Dragoon Zealot, right? It's the Psystorm, the grinding that is going to make it even harder for Rush. And right now, Quickly's on 5 base. And, you know, something I've said a lot of time in Terran vs. Protos casts is when Protos takes that 5th base, it forces the decision. Do you take a 4th base or do you attack? And unfortunately, Rush is a bit behind, so he can't really take a 4th base right now, and he can't really attack right now. He's got to get his supply up a bit more. His supply not quite enough to take the high ground back at the moment. Quickly is maxed out. Flying in with a lot of shuttles, dropping them off in this main base, making it really hard for Rush. Rush can clear this still, but he's getting so far behind at this point. Yeah, I think Quickly is like, he's just done a really good job this game with it. Well, that drop definitely didn't do well. Just Dragoon death everywhere. But the thing is, he can trade at a pretty bad deficit. You can see right now, right? He's still up 70 supply despite dropping off and losing like 20 Dragoons there to siege tank fire. At this point, Rush really, really, really needs to get out there and take another base. Like, he is just not going to be able to keep this going. The Dragoon drops are actually hilarious because this is like, it's just not, you know, it's annoying, but like, what are they going to kill? They're going to get a missile turret and maybe a depot? Like, is that what we're looking at as far as this damage goes? The thing is, doing anything right now is good because Rush has to react to it, right? So in that way, it can be a move that we can accept as a playable move, but it's like kind of silly to watch. Speed Zealots running in to this front line, and look at that, the storm's going down. He's whittling down so much GG ... from Rush. Okay, so like, let me put on my analyst hat here for a moment. Okay, I think the big mistake, I'm going to actually jump back in the replay. I want to kind of underline this, right? So this is right after the initial Vulture harassment where he got that 3rd Nexus, and I said that was perfect timing. Okay, so here's the thing. We have Robo production in 2 gates, and right now we only have 2 factories, right? This is when I was saying I thought he should probably go for a 3rd base. And by 3rd base, it's like, okay, well, I think normally to take a 3rd base truly safely, you'll probably want 3rd factory into the command center. But Rush decided to end up going for that timing push. But if you look at the times of the ads, right, this is one of the ways, like, I think one of the big metrics in Terran vs. Protoss is keeping your supply close to Protoss. It's like how you kind of try to win games. So look, he's adding everything now. Just bear with me for 1 second, or turn the VOD off, that's fine too. So see, he's adding these up and trying to get the production going. And okay, so now he's on 5 factory, now he's really producing. And what's his opponent doing? His opponent is going to be going up here to 8 gate, plus he's had the Reavers. And it's like, his economy's really exploding. Even though the worker count is kind of similar, he's got all these extra patches, so he's actually mining a lot faster. And I look at this and I don't see the timing that he's going to hit. It just doesn't look like a timing that's going to end up working out against someone who went Nexus first with a perfectly timed 3rd Nexus, right? And when he attacked with this, like here, we'll just speed this up quite a bit, right? We'll watch this attack. He's coming out. You see quickly he's just slowing him down so that his gateways can get their rounds. because he's just got a lot of production going on right now, right? So, like, if you lose this army with no third base behind and your opponent is already making a fourth base, oftentimes the game is almost over. Okay, so if you look at it right now, army supplies are actually pretty similar. This is a 14 worker advantage. So if you just like take 14 from this, it's actually like, so that's how I look at the supplies. It's like a quick math problem. So he's actually only up 5 army supply, right? So the army is good. It's a good size, right? So like you're invincible if you sit back defensively, but he doesn't have anything behind. So like it's incredibly all in. And if quickly holds this, the game ends. And the thing is, when you look at this, we're late enough into the game that this small amount of vultures is just not going to end up working. Yeah, I feel like this is really where Rush ended up losing the game. I actually think it was a very well-played game by Quickly. I think I mean, the Dragoon drops got silly, but I think he did this pretty immaculately. Okay, anyways, sorry for the the all too deep ending. I find positions like these really fascinating, right? Look at that. Crushes it, and now he's up 40 supply. And it's like, well, you have no third, and he's taking a fourth. That's very close to game. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.